And we are live. Hello, boys and girls of the comic book community. This is Chris, and this is my channel, We Love Comics. And I'm about to do a very positive video that will not be showing or talking about comics. So if you are interested only in my comic book videos, this one probably will not be for you. But there are some people who appreciate some of the kind of quote-unquote life lessons I give. So I'm about to share that and give my perspective on this. Now, if you haven't seen my other videos today, you probably won't understand what I'm talking about, so I highly recommend, if you haven't, watch those first so you can see the interesting situation that happened. And then this video will be a little bit easier to understand. First thing I want to say is I want to thank all of the amazing people who left amazing comments. That, to me, is worth more than 5,000 different haters saying something. And I want to show something because I find it funny. One of my subscribers, named Monk's Den, so shout out to you, Monk's Den, made a very good point, and I've heard this so many times in my career on YouTube, so, and it's very true, where he says that, you know, ignore the haters. To me, if you watched, I did a couple of, like, more spiritual or life-guiding information on some videos every now and then, where I talk about how, you know, sometimes when mistakes happen or bad things happen, you can learn from them. And if you do, then they're not bad. So I want to use this as a prime example that even those of us who kind of know what can happen, sometimes situations are going to happen and you may do the wrong thing. But if you can learn from them, then something good comes out of it. So let me talk about the good parts about this and how hopefully this can help other people who care about more than just the comic books and actually care about life and how they treat other people. Yes, it would have been very easy for me to ignore the comment. And yes, I do point out the negativity. For me, I use it as a learning tool. And as like you heard before, I was a little bit more strong in my voice, but now I'm much calmer because, like I say, I get it out, move on. So, what did I learn from this situation? Well, I learned that I have a bunch of caring people that come to my channel. The support is amazing. So yes, there was one bad apple, but I've so far received dozens of positive responses. So for me, that outweighs the bad quite easily. But it also teaches me that I even need to do a better job than I'm doing. Because yes, I did go on that main website and I found out that eBay was actually cheaper. But I believe there were a couple of people that told me that Amazing Spider-Man 2 was his first full appearance. So I need to do a better job with making sure I don't just believe somebody, because one, they could be lying, or two, they could be wrong, or three, they could have been told something and it got changed. So if anything, that teaches me that when I get information, what I need to do is do a better job of researching it before I quickly put it out there. The reason that I do things quickly is because I don't want people to miss an opportunity. Because as you see with some sellers on eBay, like for example, if I point out that a certain book, you know, just got a character that's going to be in a movie, if you don't get it right away, you're going to spend 2, 3, 4, 10 times more. So, if anything, this teaches me that I need to do a little bit better job doing more research and not just assuming that what somebody tells me is either truthful or accurate. It also teaches me that when a mistake happens, you can either bash yourself, feel sorry for yourself, and just pretend it didn't happen by ignoring it, or you can learn from it and improve yourself. So, I mean, I understand where most people say you should avoid your haters and you should ignore them. See, for me, if you ignore something that keeps coming at you, then you will never face it and learn from it. So, maybe I needed to have that situation happen so I can actually say, all right, Chris, your intentions are good, but if they are drowning in good intentions, people are not going to care about that. So, with this situation, I've learned that I must do an even better job with the information I give out. So if somebody gives me a tip on a character, instead of saying, oh, I better put that out there quickly, what I need to do is do a little bit more research just to confirm that it was accurate. So for me, this is a good thing. Now, I don't regret anything I do or say because everything has a purpose. And this is one of those situations where it's your life hands you a lemon, and you can either be sad that you have a lemon or you make lemonade. So for me, I don't regret making those videos. I will not put them down. I will not take them off. I will not hide the thumbs up or thumbs down. And to me, it's weird when there's that negativity like that. And I'm not talking about people just trying to, poke the bear kind of thing. I'm talking about, like, ridiculously silly comments. I almost like to confront them because in a way it makes me think about myself and how I can improve. So for me, negative feedback, when it's honest, and that person was being honest. He wasn't just being a hater. He truly believed what he was saying. At least I think so. But for me, like for example, I'm a licensed massage therapist. And when I first became a massage therapist, I wanted honest feedback of what I was doing. And I didn't want just the good stuff. Because the good stuff you don't have to change. Because if you're doing it good, there's nothing to correct yourself. I wanted people to point out what I could improve or what I was doing wrong. Because, like, for example, in the beginning, when I was first doing massages, I would add too much oil. Now, people told me that I was adding too much oil. And they didn't like that. Because especially when you were putting your socks on, for example, when you were getting ready to leave, the last thing you want is oily feet. So, I learned what not to do to improve. See, most people in life just hide from negativity because they're afraid to face it because it's bad. But if you see it from my perspective, where you can use it against itself. See, I'm sure that person's intention, I'm going to assume, was to try and cause damage to me. And it did for a second, until I stopped and think about, well, in a way, maybe he was a little bit right. He was wrong on most parts because he didn't do his research. But on my part, I should have read the comic first, or I should have researched the comic first. Now, I don't regret it because, yes, that's his first appearance on that cover. So that is going to be a desirable book, especially with a print run of, I think it's 3,000 or 4,000 for the one with the title, and only 1,000 for the variant. So that is going to be a desirable book. But it taught me that I need to not just assume, because a couple of my subscribers, and I'm not going to call anybody out because they were doing good. So they gave me the information and I went with it. I should have done a little bit better research about what was in the book. So, if anything, this teaches people that even people you like, even people you trust, can make mistakes. So if you don't verify information that even I give, because when I say question everybody, that includes me. If I give information, I'm assuming it's right sometimes, because I want it to be quickly so you don't miss out on the opportunity. Now, most of the time I get it right, but as you could see with The Amazing Spider-Man 2, I did not take the time to read the book before I gave that information out, and I still haven't read it yet, because obviously this just happened. So, as far as I know, I was originally told that the character was in it, and it was his first appearance, and now I'm finding out he wasn't in it at all. So, what this should teach everyone is when you get information, make sure you verify it, because not everybody's a liar. Sometimes mistakes happen, and it could be honest mistakes. That's why there's the term drowning in good intention. So, as some will see my little tirade or rant as a thing of, oh, now we can easily get Chris, it's not going to happen. Because like I said in the other video, once I vent it out, I get it out of the system and I move on. But what I need to do is not ignore it, but think, what can I learn from it? Because if that situation didn't happen, then I would continue to say, okay, I found out some information, here it is, I'm going to get it out there quickly so you can get it. And then I could end up repeating the same mistakes. So because somebody, quote-unquote, triggered me, and I'm using that term loosely, it made me focus on myself and said, okay, instead of feeling sorry for that happening, or angry that it happened, or ignoring it, I said, what can I learn from it? And if now all of a sudden when I get information, instead of just putting it out, if I do a little extra research and confirm something before I make a video, well then that will make it an accurate video. And I won't make mistakes like this again. So that would improve my channel. That would improve the quality. So if not for that person who said those negative things and made those false accusations about me, if that didn't happen, well, maybe I would continue to make the same mistakes. So I want to teach those who are here for the right reasons, and trust me, you are the majority. When something bad happens, don't just ignore it. Confront it. Say to yourself, why is this being presented to me? What can I learn from it to improve myself so it doesn't happen? Think of it like going to school. If you fail the 7th grade because you didn't do your homework or you didn't learn the lessons, you have to repeat it. Now, is that bad? Of course it is. It only makes it worse if you don't learn and keep repeating that failure. So, if I could teach anybody anything, like I said, learn from your mistakes, confront them. Maybe don't do what I did before. And trust me, that's not going to be the norm. So trust me, I know my haters. They're now going to think, oh, we can make up any false thing we want and Chris is going to go crazy. No, because now I learned about the situation, so I don't have to go through it again. But if I would have ignored it, and I understand why people say, you know, ignore the haters, I have to learn to do things better. Lesson learned. So the good thing is, I got a lot of positivity out of this. It's helping me to make my channel even better. So if you really think about it, was what happened really bad? Because not for nothing, I'm not going to put a gun to my head. It didn't make me want to divorce my wife and burn my house down. It just made me have to look at why it happened. And can I get something positive or better from it? And the answer is yes. So if that's the case, hopefully you'll hear in my voice the change that has already occurred. So I want to say to my subscribers, I love you all. Because the majority of you, if you read the comments, are nothing but positive. And that's why I made the statement out there. It's like, if you legitimately want me to not post information, I won't. But no one said that. But what I will promise is I will do an even better job of researching to make sure that the information I give you are accurate. So that's going to improve the quality of the information that I give. But what I also want you to do is, even with that, things can change. Or the information I got could be wrong. Make sure you do your own diligence by researching things yourself, if anything, just to confirm it. So the person that was very upset with what I did could have easily avoided that situation if they would have done their own accurate information. So we all have to take responsibility, and that's what I'm doing here. And I think that's why some people like me and why some people hate me, is I am here admitting that I made a mistake, that I'm going to learn from it, and I'm going to improve to make my videos even better. So in a sick, twisted way, I should thank that individual for saying those rude things, because maybe that was the fire that I needed to keep the fire burning, that little spark. So like I always say, learn from your mistakes, learn what positive things you can learn from them, and if you grow into a better person from those bad things, then they weren't really that bad. So I don't regret what I did. I'm not going to take down the videos. I hope people will watch them and hear the transformation of my videos that I made just before and the video I'm making now, which is what, 10 minutes later? To prove that I'm a person of my word. That, yes, that person poked the bear. But you only poke them once, and I just learned something better from it. So, to those of you who are here for the right reasons, thank you very much. To anybody that would make a comment complaining that this is not why they come to my channel, well, you were warned that this is not a comic book video, so if you're upset with it, then that's not on me, that's on you. I hope, well, actually, I don't even hope. I know my subscribers will forgive me for my error, but I promise you, because of that error, I will do better research on comics and make sure I read it before I give out information. That may mean it's going to take a little longer, which means the prices probably will go up really quick. But I want to make sure this information that I give is quality and not quantity. So I'm sure the negative people were hoping for me to say I'm giving up or I'm quitting or go into another tirade. But that's not going to happen. That is the old me. So I hope those that are here for the right reasons will see that I'm here to make something more of a positive change, to see things in a different way. And I will continue to give out information. I will just do it better. And if you can do something better that people like already, it's just going to go up to that next level. So I want to thank people like Monk's Den for leaving those comments. I will do a better job from now on with researching. I thank you for your understanding. And I still, with knowing, and I put a warning on the video title of that Amazing Spider-Man, that the character, supposedly, I haven't read it yet, but supposedly is not even in that. And I think that's a bad job on Marvel's behalf, and I guess now most people know why I don't really buy too many new books, because of tactics like that. But the fact that it's his first appearance on the cover still makes that a desirable book. So yeah, Stephen Oates said, haters will always be with us. Haters, they will, and that's fine. If they need to stalk me, if they're obsessed with me to the point where they can't look away, that's fine. If I can keep a hater hating me and not going out and committing crimes or committing murder or hurting others physically, then hey, I'll be glad to keep them distracted and being obsessed with my channel. So maybe I'm doing good even for my haters. Because if a hater is full of anger and they need to vent it and there's nobody like me out there to vent it on, well, they may be going out committing crimes, like real harm. So maybe I'm stopping somebody from beating up an old lady or being like Dan Harmon and making videos where you're simulating raping a baby doll. So many people excused him for doing that. And I have people that chastise me for a comic book. You gotta love how the world works. But I wish you could see the smile on my face. And I think that's why some are always going to hate. Because they're just going to be angry and they can't get rid of it because they can't deal with their mistakes in their life and they avoid them. So as much as I appreciate the advice of avoiding the haters, I want to learn from it. So you can learn sometimes more from your enemies than you ever can from your friends. And SWP Goat 99 says, does that qualify as a cameo appearance? Yes, it does. Because if you look at, for example, all you have to do is verify, look at Miss Marvel 17, the second print. No, I'm sorry, Captain Marvel 17, the second print. She appears for the first time on the cover of that book. So even though it's a second print, they show that as her first appearance. So this book that I showed, even though it's not inside, is still, if you get it graded, will show an appearance, and it will also mark the first appearance on a cover. And these days that is still very desirable. The fact that he's not in the book would have made it even more desirable if it was truly his first full appearance. But again, I had people tell me that he was, and I assumed. Lesson learned. I will not assume again, because they may not have been lying. They could have been told that from the company. Because, you know, the job of the company is to sell books. So, unfortunately, a lot of companies use dishonest tactics. So, even though I got it wrong, I wasn't being dishonest. I was just being neglectful from not doing my own better research. So, if I solved the problem and improved my channel even more, and I get so many people that like it as it is, then I'm glad this happened. No regrets. I won't be like some people when they get hate that they shut off the comments or they block the ability to see the thumbs up and the thumbs down. Look at my video that I made about the Dan Harmon video. I'm proud to display it's got about 175 thumbs down, because I don't run away from negativity, because there's two sides to a coin. If you just look at everything only through the positive point of view, you're only going to learn so much. You're going to learn half of what life has to offer. You can learn from the negativity and make it into something good, or you could ignore it and never learn the lesson, or you can only see it as negative and never grow. It all comes down to choice. So I choose to use what happened today and make a nice, refreshing glass of lemonade that I will enjoy every savory sip of. So thank you very much for all of you that left those comments. I learned a lesson. I'm going to improve it. I repeat things 700 times, which will annoy the hell out of some people. But hey, all I can be is me. And if I try and be like anybody else, then why follow the imitator? So, there's good and bad. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening. I'm going to go spend the rest of my day entertaining other people, doing my DJ job for the night, doing my massage job in the afternoon. And I want to thank everybody for listening. Enjoy the ride, because if anything, like Bill Hicks once said, it's just a ride. Have a wonderful day, everybody.